My name is Michael Moon. I'm an antiquarian bookseller and I live and work in Whitehaven where I have a shop.
And my name is Peter Moon and I'm an antiquarian bookseller. Whitehaven is a very interesting place historically. It has an awful lot of history. The current state of the town in terms of the shops isn't great. There are perhaps too many gaps in the smile of the high street, which is nicely bookended by some nice new seating. But it's seen better days in terms of what shops are open.
You've got to be on the right street because I've been in 3 places in Whitehaven, but the one that I was in the longest on Roper Street, just the street died. So I had to go where the footfalls were. It is not people passing your windows, you'll start. And that's how I came to where I am now. The only thing I'm short of is customers. The main streets are dying. And now we're in a town where we've got more Turkish barbers than lady barbers, our conventional barbers. We've got more vape shops than we know what to do with. And we've got more nail bars than we can use.
It's footfall as much as anything. If people aren't coming into town, we can't sell them books. So it's getting people into town and through the door is one of the biggest challenges. After Wilkinson's closed, that directly affected the footfall, certainly on Lowther Street, which is where we're located. Even the closing of a local off licence, which is next door to us, changes where people move up and down the street. So it has a negative impact if there's no reason to get off the bus on this street. We've changed and adapted over the years, even though we haven't realised we've done it. So by moving premises to a busier street has helped. And over the past 50 years, my dad has published books where we worked out there was a proven demand.
A man came to me on a Sunday afternoon. He said, "Could I talk to you about my father?" And I said, "Anything in particular worrying you?" He said, "My father's crackers. He's got something called Alzheimer's. It's common now, but it wasn't a common expression then." I said, "What is your particular beef?" He said, "My father keeps talking about a triumphal archway on Tangier Street." He said, "And I've just got off the bus from Workington. There is no triumphal archway there at all." I said, "There used to be, but it was pulled down in 1927. They used to sell postcards of it." And he said, "Well, if somebody would put those photographs together in a book," he said, "we would have some means of actually having a conversation that he could tell me about his time and I could tell him, I could ask him questions." And on the strength of that, I produced a book when I left. And that book was called Bygone Whitehead. And that book became 10 books in the end. And I sold 35,000 copies of that. And that's the first book of 50 books that I've done since.
When I first started, it was comparatively, it was a bit easier because you didn't have the internet. So if people saw a particular book, they had to make a decision about whether they wanted it. Now people have a tendency to shop window, which is if they see a book, they can then look it up on the internet and see if they can find it cheaper.
But the online selling, you can get things in a hurry if you want, rather than go around 10 shops and not find them. But the variety in town centres has shrunk to the point where really, other than basic foodstuffs, you really, there's no fun in shopping anymore.
I think rates are a big thing that are prohibitive to people setting off in, starting a new business or filling an empty shop, and it can be quite prohibitive.
The buildings that are empty, where the landlords live away, who don't know where Whitehaven is and never come here to look at the buildings, the gutters are never emptied, so there's leaks and there's sods everywhere and growing out the rooftops. I think that one way of doing it actually is to make sure that the buildings are painted and charge the people on a regular basis, a nominal sum to get them painted properly, but get somebody in and bring the rents down to an afford. I mean, anything is better than nothing. The number of buildings in town that are empty where the landlords are miles away, but the rents are far too dear.
So if they could either link the rates to the turnover of the shop or abolish them altogether and find a different way of taking money off you.